Hi, today we're going to look at something very important, and that is to do with relative and absolute cell reference. The relative cell reference is a spreadsheet that allows the references to adjust when the formula is copied to other cells. So I have this information here in my table, and I'm going to calculate the relative and absolute, and then we are going to see how this one is done. So I will start with relative. We said when you do any calculation that is to do with relative, the formula can be applied to other cells. For example, if I have a formula, if I have the value or the answer in I-17 that uses the same formula that was used before or that was used in I-16, then that is what we call relative cell reference. So let's see how that is done. So I'll go ahead and type equal sign. Then after I type the name of the function, say sum function. Then after I select the value, first value, then I select the second value, then I close the bracket. After that, go ahead and press enter key. When that one is done, drag outside, click on this angle here, and then hold and drag outside the selection to extend the series. Once that one is done, now you realize that all the rest of the values have been calculated automatically. So if I select one of these values, you will see that the same formula that I used in the first cell has been applied to this one. So that's what we call cell relative referencing. What about absolute? Whereas absolute, the reverse is true. When you do the formula in the first cell, it does not apply to the other cells. In this case, this can be used especially when you want to lock a row or a column. But use other information that is in a different cell. So for example, you have a formula in cell C4 that uses, or you have a formula in any of these cells, cell J16 that uses information from the other cell. When you want to apply the absolute cell referencing, then you have to apply what we call the dollar sign. So what I'm trying to mean here is that I have a formula here, and this formula is using the same formula, or the value here uses the same formula which was applied here. So if I want to lock that, or if I want to apply the absolute, then I have to use a dollar sign. So in this case, I'm going to say equal sign, then I type sum. Go ahead, open the parentheses and type the first value, which is that G16. Put a comma and put that H16. Close the bracket and press enter. Then you will see the answer. Drag outside to fill the series, and then you will see the same thing with the relative. But then I want to apply, because I said now when you see the answer is using here, like any of these answers is using the same formula that was used in the first cell, then that one, it means it is relative. But I want to use absolute. So I'm going to go ahead and select the value or the formula in the first cell. Then I go to the formula bar. Then when I go in the formula bar, I'm now going to edit or to modify my formula. I'm going to apply the dollar sign on both column and rows. So I will say dollar sign on G. I will go ahead and say dollar sign on 16. I'll go ahead and apply dollar sign on H and apply dollar sign on 16. After that, I press enter. Once that one is done, I'll go ahead and drag outside to fill the series, and then now you see my values have changed to 68 throughout. This means that now the formula is no longer applied to other cells, and that's what we call absolute cell reference. So now we have seen the difference between relative and absolute. In the next video, we shall look at how we can use this, and find out other functions which are related to this. Thank you, and let's catch up in the next video.